So what we want to do now is explore what you're looking at on the screen itself, because when you first jump into the screen you're thinking, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here. So if we go into the market selection here and we do correct score, it's not going to find that, is it? Then you can see here we've got the correct score market. So if we double click on that, you can see that that actually brings up the correct score market. You can see lots of things going on all over the screen here, and I'm going to explain what some of these are. When you double click on the market selection screen, it always transports you to the one-click screen, and that is because that's where most people sort of start, and then they branch out and use more features of the product from there. If you right click on the market selection, you can see you can actually display it any number of ways that you want. So if you want to display the market on the one-click screen, you can right click on the market selection and do that, or you can display it immediately on the ladder if I right click and then left click on here. So let me just repeat what I've done there. If I right click on the market selection, it brings up three options. If I just double click, it jumps to the one-click screen. However, if I right click on there, you can see I can display it as a one-click screen, display on the ladder, or display it in a completely new ladder. And then I would just basically left click at that point, and then it switches to that market. So you can left or right click when you're on the market selection screen. You can do something very clever. It's worth pointing it out here as well. If we want to display more than one market at the same time, all that we need to do is right click and then select this very bottom option here, display market in a new ladder window. What that will do is the following. You can see it brings up another screen, and then you can pin, move that around as you see fit, put it wherever you wish, and we're actually watching two markets at the same time. Now we do have a fantastic tool for watching multiple markets, and that is Guardian, but that is explained in another video. But basically, when you click on a market, you'll arrive at the one-click screen. And let me explain what you're looking at on this particular screen. On the left-hand side here is a range of charts. This is the market in which you're actually looking at the moment. So if we click on that, you'll actually see a chart appear. That's the Betfair chart. Your P&L, how much profit and loss you have in this particular market. A micro chart, the current profit that you have within this market, and then all of the back odds, all of the lay odds, and then a predefined stake that you're going to use on the back or lay side. Nice little market, a nice little button called the Make Market button here, which we'll talk about in a minute. At the top here you can see headers which describe what is in each of these columns. So each of these columns describes what is below it. So I've just described it to you, but in fact it's all the way up here anyway. And if we go into a horse racing market, this is probably going to be an easier way of showing you all of the capabilities of the information on the one-click screen. So we're going to choose a market that's going off in a bit. There you go. And you can see that these extra columns here are the saddlecloth, stall draw, silks. And if you just hover your mouse over the top of these headers here, then it will actually tell you what each one of these columns is showing you. So we can see here that's showing you saddlecloth, this is showing you stall draw, this is showing you advanced charting, and this is the micro chart that you can see carefully labelled here anyway. Now there's no obligation to have the headers on. You can actually switch the headers off, and I tend to have them off because that gives me extra screen space, but you should only switch them off when you're very familiar with what's going on the one-click screen. However, if we put the headers back on again, I'll show you something else that it can do here, and that is you can use the column headers to sort. So basically we could sort by price, we could do it in reverse order from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. We could actually sort by the name of the horse. Maybe you have a strategy backing a horse with the name C at Kempton at 1550. But I suggest probably that isn't a sensible thing. But you can sort by any of the columns. So if we wanted to sort by the stall draw, by the saddlecloth number, by the odds, however you wanted to do that, that's very easy to do. Now bear in mind that when you do that, it will keep sorting these columns. It will keep dynamically sorting them. So if you want to switch the sorting off, click on something where sorting isn't required, such as the microchart, and it reverts back to the original order. But if you see the selections or the prices jumping around up and down the one-click screen, you may actually have sorting on. You may not be aware of that. So it's up to you whether you have the header on or off. I tend to have it off because that means you can't accidentally click something and start moving it around. But for the moment what we'll do is we'll leave it on anyway, because this is the state in which you would expect to see when you first join the one-click screen.